Hello there, welcome to Newsround. Here's what's coming up today. Ruined by rain. A city damaged by the floods asks for urgent help.
And take a look at this. The covers are on and the umbrellas are out, but people are still smiling. I've got the latest from Wimbledon.
So it's all about the weather again, and there's a big plea for help today. Thousands of people whose homes were wrecked by last week's floods are asking for urgent help from the government. Hull, in the northeast of England, was the first place in the country to be hit by the heavy rain. But people there say it feels like everyone has just forgotten about them. This was Hull last week. Roads turned into rivers and gardens into swimming pools. Today, most of that floodwater's been pumped away, but it's left behind a lot of problems. So much has been ruined by the rain. It's thought about 35,000 people have been affected by the floods in Hull. More than 16,000 homes are badly damaged, and some families won't be able to go back home for months. Lots of schools were forced to close when the heavy rain hit. 6 are still shut, which means some kids are being bused to nearby schools so they don't miss class. Many of them will have to wait ages before being able to go back to their own desks. Some schools are so badly damaged that they might not be able to reopen till December. Sorting out the damage could cost as much as £200 million, so the people of Hull say they really need the government to help pay that massive repair bill. In other news, pupils at a school in the Midlands are getting the Harry Potter treatment. They're going to class in a steam train to make sure they get there on time. The head teacher came up with the idea because kids used to turn up late when there were big traffic jams. And judges at this hot dog eating competition in America had a tricky time picking the winner. They couldn't see who'd gobbled up the most, so they had to count the scraps left on the plates to work out who had won. It turned out the champ had gobbled up 66 hot dogs in 12 minutes. Yuck. It's 5:29. Next to the children doing all they can to be more environmentally friendly. Hector and Clancy live in a village which has gone completely green. Laura's been to forests in the Scottish Highlands to meet them.
Meet Clancy and Hector. They're best friends and live here at the Findhorn Eco Village. They were both brought up here, where it's perfectly normal to have solar panels on your roof and a wind turbine in your back garden.
The community here was set up 45 years ago and it's been growing ever since. Now more than 200 people live here and they all try to live their lives doing as little damage to the environment as possible.
Hector's house is particularly eco-friendly.
Our walls are like this, with the outside, the inside and the sheep's wool insulation in the middle. In the winter it keeps us nice and hot because it's nice and snug in the middle, and in the summer it keeps us nice and cool, so it lets some of the cool fresh air in.
But it's not just about saving energy, it's also about trying to limit the amount of waste we produce. And yes, that even means dealing with the stuff we flush down the toilet.
This is what they call the living machine. It's the village's sewerage treatment plant. It basically means that whatever you flush down the toilet ends up in these tanks. Instead of using chemicals to clean the water, they use plants.
The waste is pumped from container to container. Each one has different plants in it which deal with and break down different types of bacteria. Once the waste has passed through the containers, experts here say it's practically clean again.
Every little bit helps, really. We're here doing our thing, and there are other places out there which are doing things just like us.
Children here reckon it's really important to look after our world and that more of us should live in an environmentally friendly way. But what do you think? Are eco-villages like this one the way forward? Get in touch and you can vote on our website.
Next up, what do you lot reckon about girls and boys playing footy together? Earlier this week, we told you about how 11-year-old Minnie has managed to get the rules changed so she can play football for longer on a mixed team. So, how did that score with you lot? Here's Sonali to give us the running commentary. Sonali.
Thanks, Ellie. Well, let's kick off by saying there are definitely comments of two halves today. You lot seem pretty evenly split over this issue, and it's boys versus girls. Nicholas says he plays football with girls, and most of them complain when the ball hits them. They hate getting kicked, he says, and ruin the game. Keep girls away from boys' football. And Ishmael from Birmingham agrees it's not good news. When I play for my school team and I see a girl, he writes, I feel uncomfortable slide tackling her. But Stephanie isn't afraid to tackle the argument, and she says she thinks it's great because all the boys in her school are really annoying when it comes to picking teams. They always leave the girls till last when some of them are actually better than the boys. And Charlie from Lightwater agrees it's unfair that girls aren't as noticed in this sport as boys. We don't just like clothes and makeup, you know, she says. Finally, Joe plays in defence for the girls and says, I think they should be put on boys' teams because girls don't get enough of a chance to show their talents. Well, thanks to all of you for the latest score on this debate. Check out the website. Ellie.
Thanks, Sonali. Finally, to tennis, and it's been one of the wettest Wimbledons ever. The rain just won't stop, and now it's starting to dampen the players' spirits. Well, Sports Round's Jake has braved a soaking for us and is there with all the latest. Jake, let me guess, it's raining.
Oh, Ellie, you guessed right. I really wish I'd taken you up on the offer of your pink umbrella. I'll be talking about the fans in just a moment. They're all very excited down there behind me, even though it is raining. But this weather has caused real problems for the organisers and for the players. Take, for example, the two best players in the men's game. The men's number one, Roger Federer, he's not played here for the last 6 days. He's been sat at home, probably eating English fish and chips or something, whereas his arch-rival, Rafael Nadal, has been down here playing tennis almost every single day. Is that fair? Lots of people don't think it is. And now Rafael Nadal has also joined in the debate. He thinks the whole thing could have been organised a little bit better.
We don't play on Sunday, and the weather was okay, so much better than yesterday, before the Monday, and today too. I didn't understand why they cancelled yesterday when at 8:10 the sunshine is here for 1 hour.
Well, Rafa wasn't smiling there, but he was today. He's now made it through. He's into the quarterfinals after a 5-set victory. Another big win today for another big name. Venus Williams, she's now made it through to the semi-finals in the ladies. But just take a look down here. You can see all the fans down there. Despite the rain, they're still very happy, and well they might be. Jamie Murray, who's the only Brit left in the tournament, he did really well. He's made it through to the next round in the mixed doubles. So good news from Wimbledon for him today, but not such good news for the weather, Ellie. Whew.
I'll keep that pink umbrella on standby for you, Jake. Thanks very much. Well, we're out of time, but I'll have your next news round over on the CBBC channel at 5 to 6. Bye-bye from both of us.